This video is brought to you by my patrons and by viewers like you. Greetings, groovy people! Welcome to Blue Dragon Art. I'm the self-proclaimed Blue Dragon. This is an art-related channel. I talk about zines, independent art projects, events, things, all kinds of stuff, okay? And this time, I want to talk about TCAF, which I've been calling TCAF because I don't know, man. I don't know shit. I don't know anything. I know nothing. That's from something. I can't remember what. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to be doing a review of what it was like to participate in the online digital market for TCAF. I want to preface this by saying my experience is probably not everyone's experience. I was a greenhorn to this event, and at the end of the video, I'm going to be talking about what I could have done better as well as what they could have done better. But for the most part, I think they really have a tight ship that they run, and it was pretty clear and concise what you can expect out of this video. I am going to be answering the question, what is TCAF? I'm going to be talking about what I did to prepare. That's going to be part one. I kind of wanted to show off a lot of the stuff that I bought that was not just for TCAF, but is going to be used at events and markets and stuff that I sell at locally as well. In part two, I'm going to discuss the results of the event. Dun dun dun! Yeah, we'll just get to that when I get to it. Foreboding noises as I Tina out here for a minute.
Tina, relax. Easy. Okay.
And like I just said a few minutes ago, I'm going to talk about what I think I did well. Critique myself. I think it's good to critique ourselves every now and then, keep it real. Don't get a big ego, you know what I'm saying? And to that end, I will also be discussing what I think I could have done better. And then I'm going to discuss what they did well and what I think they could have done better. And then I'm going to wrap up this two-part video. Again, not sure if it's all going to be one upload or two uploads, but I'm going to wrap things up by talking about my overall thoughts and impressions about TCAF. Let's go ahead and get into this. TCAF is essentially the Toronto Comic Arts Festival. It started in 2003, so this thing has been going on for like over a decade now, which is really freaking groovy. Their mission statement, if you go to like their story, they essentially are trying to promote comics, independent comics and the like, as a legitimate form of literature, and to promote like the stories and voices of independent artists. So I am totally down with their mission statement and what they're all about. I think this is fantastic. I hope I'm not going to be clapping a ton in this video. I don't know what my mood is today, y'all. There's something going on with me. But that's what TCAF is. Essentially, it is an in-person convention in Toronto, Canada. But in recent years, I feel like maybe it was 2020 when, COVID was first introduced to our society. I'm laughing to keep from crying. But anyway, I think they started the digital market, which is just an online-only shop, to make sure that people could still reach other people with their artwork and their comics and stuff. So, makes sense to me, good. It's a good backup plan since we were all, shut behind closed doors, and we were still able to connect with one another, and they were doing their best to still make sure that the arts were supported in spite of the lockdown. So that's what TCAF is. This event, at least the digital online market, was 100% free to participate in with a shop. They did take 10% of sales, but the nice thing about that way they set things up is that if you don't make any sales, you don't have to pay them anything. So I think that was actually really fair regarding the digital market, of course. In person, I think they probably had like a tabling fee. I don't know, because I'm not going in person anytime soon, if ever. Although I have been told that I really need to go up to Vancouver and Toronto and stuff. People have told me that I should go visit people. Anyway, so that's some background on the festival. So what I did to prepare for this event, I wanted to make sure that my shop had a variety of both printed and digital PDFs in it because I did not know about the shipping cost. Like, I knew shipping could cost a lot, but I'm gonna get into that later. I've already talked about it in another video, but I wanted to make sure that there were things that I considered to be cheap, such as postcards, stickers. I had my little mini zines. I had my regular comics for Dark Horse, Acts 1 through 3, and I had the Aradia Beat Volume 1, TGIF the 1990s, which I was selling. Those are the items that I had, and in order to prepare for this event, I needed to have the postcards designed. I needed to design and get stickers printed. I already had the zines on hand from the Portland Zine Symposium, which I never did a video on. I will. Last year was fucked, y'all. Yeah, I'll talk about that later. Hopefully, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I should probably talk about how things went there. But I digress. And I also was working on the Dark Horse fashion zine, Kana. I got that ready for print. I did not have it digitally in my shop as I had anticipated because I didn't realize you had to upload the PDF when you filled out their form with all of the products you were going to be selling in your shop. So while I thought that I could wait until when the event actually began, I did not realize that, reasonably so, they required you to upload the PDF upon the time of filling out the inventory list, the items that you were going to have. I will go into detail about all of the manual labor that went into the digital shop. I will talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, those are the products that I had in my shop. And I'm going to go ahead and show a little bit of the prep work, some unboxing and stuff like that. I might have like a little time lapse going of some of the artwork that I was working on, just so that you can see I put a lot of labor into this, and I don't regret that at all because it's stuff that I can sell in person or have in my Square shop and stuff like that. So yeah, I was going to be needing these printables anyhow for in-person events, but all the same, I really was like from January to the last minute in May getting shit printed. Serious face. The fashion zine was done like the week, like it was being printed while the shop was open. Okay. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and switch over the video so that you can see some of the stuff that I recorded in the past of me actually getting work done and discussing my preparation for it. So moving into the next part of the video. Oh my gosh, somebody hand wrote thank you. I just noticed that. This is from Sticker Ninja. This is the same company that Aradia Collective used to make their stickers. So I was like, you know, I'm going to give them a try. And they're actually well, at least, I don't know how Sticker Ninja works. I don't know if they, like, work with people who are local and, like, farm the work out. I know nothing about this company, but I like the quality of the stickers, so I went with Sticker Ninja. Maybe I should ask Yanon if hers came from, where she's at. I'm not going to say what state she's in, just because. Oh my gosh, and I got cute little oh my gosh, guys, these are so cool. Oh my god, they give me a lollipop. Is this the mystery? Oh, it's the mystery flavor. Wait, should I eat candy from strangers? Dear, should I eat this lollipop?
Well, it's from a company, Ashley. You can trust it.
I can trust a company.
Yeah, eat it.
Sure, they're not gonna kill me. Sure. I think I can eat these. I think these are vegan. I think, maybe.
What's the brand? Dum Dum?
It's Dum Dum. Maybe I shouldn't stick it in my mouth yet. It used to be, like, way back in the day, this has nothing at all to do with these stickers, but it used to be back in the day. My god, look at all these fucking stickers they gave me. You used to be able to, like, save up the Dum Dum, like, I can't remember, there was one that had, like, I don't remember, there was a picture that if you had it on your wrapper, you could save up a couple of them and then take them into the candy shop and they'll give you, like, a free one.
PETA confirms Dum Dums are vegan.
Oh, well, I can totally trust PETA. They're even more trustworthy than regular companies. Oh my gosh, you guys. Holy shit. These are so cute. That's how this video is gonna be. Oh my gosh. These are fucking hilarious. Oh my gosh, I love this. This is so far out and solid. Look at these. I wonder if these glow in the dark. I don't know if they do or not. That's just me wondering. Wow. Okay, so anyway, these are like not the stickers. These are not going to be in my shop. I don't know what I'm going to do with these. Maybe I'll just share the love. Oh, so I cannot wait. These are for the TCAF. And you guys know I'm going to keep some of my own sticker, or I'm going to keep a sticker of my own. Wow. Okay. So I said I was going to get Kiss Cut stickers to sell at the TCAF. And I wanted to do something safe like Sailor Moon. And then I also wanted to do some of my character Karen, who is in Dark Horse. It's a free post-apocalyptic magical girl fantasy. Links for it are down in the description. She was in Act 4. She's going to be in Act 13 as evidenced by the cover of the chapter. I just want to take these stickers out. Oh my gosh, they're so nice. They're so nice. Wow. Oh my gosh, I'm so stoked. Look at these. Oh my gosh. Honey, these are so nice. These are the stickers I'm going to be selling. So they're not like huge, but well, Karen is about 3.5 almost. 3.5 by 1 1/4? Or 1 7 wait, 3/4. 1 3/4. So that's the size of these two. And then this one's like a little, it's goes around, and it's not very big. It's like around 2 1/4 by 2 1/4 because it's square. Wow. Where's my notebook? So I'm gonna put these stickers in my sketchbook. Yes, it says Chris Hart. Leave me alone. My parents bought it for me. Parents don't know. This is from 2012, okay? I'm not gonna shit on Chris Hart. He did his best. I don't know anything about the dude, okay, y'all? But yeah, these are the stickers that were from the Eradia. Some of the stickers. This was from a chica that sat next to me at the Portland Zine Symposium. So like I got, and then I sat next to the, anyway, there's a lot of stickers I'm just putting in here. This is a Modest Medusa. That's a webcomic. It's pretty cute. You can check that out. But yeah. So I'm gonna put my Sailor Moon and my Karen stickers in here. Okay, now I know somebody's gonna make a comment about this character being named Karen. I know it's gonna happen eventually when enough people start, you know, finding me. And I just want to say that first and foremost, I named this character long before that thing ever was on, like that saying for like an asshole white woman asked for a manager, and flexing their, just being a bitch. Just being a bitch, that's what we'll say. So number one, it was before that was even on my radar, like this. And two, this character, though her name is spelled differently, was influenced by a person who was black that I actually knew, whose name is Karen. So that's why, I mean, just about everyone, like, there's meanings behind all the names and stuff. And, like, there's characters that aren't in the comic yet that are going to be named after people that I know and like, or knew and like. I mean, a lot of the people I don't really hang out with anymore because I'm no longer in college, but that's where I got the name from, and I don't want to get canceled for it. I guess I have no say in it. I'm not big enough to get canceled, thankfully, hopefully. But yeah, it was me paying homage to someone who I really liked and I hung out with. I lived with her. So that's why I named a character after her first name. So yeah, wow. Those, oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, my stickers are really starting to fill up in here. But yeah, I just wanted to show off. These are the stickers that I'm going to have for sale in my shop. Woo! So we got Chibi Karen, Sailor Moon, Chibi Karen. Okay, cool. Cool beans. I gotta wonder if there's a subliminal message behind this, if they're calling me a dum-dum or a sucker. But the stickers are nice, so I don't think so. This is a choice. Okay. I don't know what that voice was. That is the voice of exasperation because I'm super, super tired. So, yeah, I've got, the TCAF had you fill out individual forms for each and every item you were having in your shop. All things considered, I have, like, what is that, 25 things in my shop. I have 7 forms here. I have 18 forms here. All that I filled out with images, descriptions, how many you're selling. I'm ending up not being able to sell a digital file of the fashion zine because they needed you to upload it when you submitted it. Like here, this is Act 3 in the PDF form. So I sadly am unable to sell that digitally, but I will be, I'm working on it. I'm going to have hard copies for sure, and I submitted that with the artwork, the cover, and some sample things. But you can see this took me like 2 days to fill out. I really shouldn't have waited till last minute, but, and it wasn't like 2 full days, I should say. It was half a day because I did flats in the morning, and then half a day, another day because I had to make a video in the morning. So it wasn't like 2 full days, like 24 hours, 48 hours, whatever. But it was still a lot of work, and you had to, like, you know, try to put, you had to measure everything, how much it was going to weigh. You had to put how much it was going to be in CAD, Canadian dollars instead of USD. So that was a bit challenging. So, oh my god, I gave Aradia Collective my USD, how much I was charging, not Canadian dollars. So yeah, I went ahead and messaged the lead witch on that. Witch! I said lead witch because, you know, it's the Magical Girl Collective. It's magical witches. Anyway. And then you also had to, like, create a SKU generator. I've still got, this is not all of them. This is just, I was tired of hunching over the laptop at the kitchen table where I had all of my products spread out. I decided, I wrote everything down in notebooks, so I moved over to the computer and did the scan generator thing here. But yeah, you had to create a scan thing. I don't know if we're going to be making our own barcodes or if they're going to use this to make their barcodes. I tried exporting this, but I can't open it because it's in an Excel file. But yeah, this was a lot of work, but I understand why they're doing it. They're keeping things very organized. And I do need to send an email to the contact because I made a couple mistakes. A couple mistakes, but it'll be okay. Oh my god, I just got an Indiegogo update. What? Anyway, I'm gonna count my inventory. We're gonna move over to the desk. I'll have a little bit of chatting, but then I'm gonna, like, time-lapse counting all my shit and counting it to see how much I got. Anyway, in addition to having to fill out, like, 25 some odd forms that I already showed you, I needed to, within that form, provide how many sets of each thing that I was selling and how many individual things of each thing I was selling. So I probably should have done this before submitting all my information, but it is still March, and so in case I do need to order more, which I don't think I will, if I'm gonna be honest, I'm actually doing a stock count of some of my older comics and stuff that I've had sitting around the house. I've sold things at conventions, I've given things away to people, I've done zine trades, so I really need to take stock. Again, I should have done that before filling out my form, but I'm also very realistic and know that I'm not gonna, like, sell all my copies of my comic, y'all. If I do, I will be super happy, but this part is going to be time-lapse because I'm just like going to show like some of the work of counting and figuring out how many I have, and then I'll come back and say how many I have in stock of each comic. Okay, so I finished counting the comics that I have. Dark Horse, I have 125 copies. That makes sense because I got 150 with this order. Dark Horse Act 2, I have 137 copies. That also makes sense because you sell less of the sequels usually. And I got 150 of this. And then 90 copies of Act 3. I only got 100 of these, so I mean I've sold a couple, so that's good. I've been working on organizing things. I don't know, I might take a picture or like video when I'm done, but I don't want to like record myself cleaning because I've got too much shit to do, and setting up cameras and stuff takes time. So I'll be back with more information in just a second. Okay, so the previous part of the video was me kind of showing you like the prep work for getting the shop ready. I wanted to take a moment. I know I'm going to be backtracking just a little bit because I've got here on the top the communication letting me know that I've been accepted to the digital market, and I am just going to kind of go over like some of the communication because I think that's something that they did really well, and I'll get into that more so in the latter part of the discussion. I'm ending the video following this section and going to cover the, results and everything next week because this video is already getting pretty long. And there's a lot to get into. So let me just tell you, the communication was really freaking clear and concise, very prompt. I had to communicate with the person who was in charge of collecting everyone's information for what they were selling in the shop. He got back really freaking quick every time I needed to talk to him. I only needed to email like maybe once or twice. And also I got pretty quick response after the sale, which was a different person. I had a very important question regarding the results of my shop, which I'll get into later. Okay. I'm making it sound like foreboding, but like there was like a legitimate like thing that came up, because I'm gonna just tell you right now, it's gonna be a little bit of a spoiler, but I only sold like one thing. So an issue did come up and it was handled promptly, and I think I was treated fairly and given a fair option. So I just want to say that real quick. But yeah, I got the acceptance letter, very clear, telling you exactly what to expect, what was going to happen next. I think that this was just so incredibly professionally handled. Communication was great. Everybody was super freaking nice that I talked to. 100% cannot fault anything to do with the communication and how clear and updated they kept things. They had like updates on a regular basis, and what I like about it is they would tell you that this is the newsletter. They told you what was gonna be in the newsletter that was in that email, and then they would tell you that they were going to get to other topics in other emails. This was just step by step, holding our hands. I just can't express to you enough how much I appreciated this. Having this been like the first time that I participated, I think they did great making sure that they kept us informed on what each step along the way was going to be. This was not just for like the digital market, they also had like information on like if you were going to be there in person. So yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. They have an overview of what you're going to covering in this email. Then they would go into like the breakdown of each section. Now you can see that I wrote a lot of notes on here. This super neat handwriting is my partner's. He wrote some notes on here because I had some questions. This ended up not like pertaining to me. That was in person, but you know, just had some questions, you know. This is the intake form information. Holy shit, I will say the intake form was so complex, and we're gonna get into that. But I am showing you things that I don't feel are really all that private, you know. It's just an intake form. But this is something that I think that I had no way of anticipating just how big the intake form was. Okay, I will say that was something that took me by surprise because, oh my gosh, I have just an extra page. I'll use that as scrap. You had to have all of the information, like what it was, like I happened to have digital selected, but this was a form that you had to fill out individually for each and every item you were selling in your shop. For instance, Dark Horse Act 1, the physical copy, had a form. The PDF copy had its own separate form. You had to put the information in, and you had to create a SKU, which I talked about earlier in the video. That comes into play later. I didn't know at the time, but you did have to print off your own barcode, which they tell you that's going to happen, but like I wasn't really sure if they were going to do it or if they were going to have us do it. You know, you upload things. You had to have images for yourself, which I think you only had to upload the avatar, your personal shop avatar once, which was nice because it even says like, you know, you only had to do it one time so that you don't have to keep doing it. But I had to get pictures ready for the shop, so if I didn't already have pictures, I took some extra ones. This was motherfucking intense, and I wish I did not know that it was going to be this complex because of my inexperience. Again, this was not their fault. I do wish I had a little bit of forewarning how intense this was going to be. I would have started on this before the day before it was due. But I was, working. I've been working since January on like the art aspect, and I didn't have any clue. So I had to get all this shit in, in February to the collective, and even she couldn't, like the person coordinating it had not anticipated all this, and she had to do this for everyone in the fucking collective. I wish I'd known. I would have done my part for her. But at any rate, none of us were really, because this was our first time, we weren't really prepared. Next time I will be prepared if I get accepted. And I'll know to have my ducks in a row. But I'll talk about that in next week's video. But yeah, very, very fucking intense. So I want to show you what an example of my forms look like. This is not even all of them. This is like some of the forms. I didn't want to print off all of the paper because I believe it or not, I do like to conserve paper, but I was using this and referencing this at some point, which is why I printed off this. This is just like this is just 7 of the things I sold. I had a whole other email chain with more items in it, but this is just to kind of show you, I had the title of it. This was my postcard. One of my postcards, and you had to say what your shop was. Obviously makes sense if it was physical or digital, what it was, how much it weighed. You had to weigh shit, how much you were going to be selling it for, the SKU information that you put in to the website that they gave you, then the file, what it looks like, you know, the photos, a description of what it is, what the photos were, how many you were selling. I had more than this, but I also had bundles, so of the individuals, I was only selling 70 because I had like a couple bundles that had all 3 postcards in it. So I kept that in mind whenever I was saying how much of a product I was selling. I don't think I needed to do a no photo submitted here, and obviously digital, not that. But yeah, so again, doing it love and justice, every single one individually. Here's one where I had several pictures for the shop so that people could, whenever you were looking at the shop, you saw that in one of my videos. If you haven't, you can check it out. I'll try to remember to put the link down in the description. Yeah, this was the Whimper in the Dark bundle, so like I had a couple pictures and how much it was gonna weigh and all that. Front and back covers, there's the photos, blah blah blah. You get the idea. So this was really, really intensive work. So this was after the intake form, just some more general information for you, the floor plan, letting people know that they were close to having the floor plan, you know, updates and stuff like that. I highlighted the information that was like pertinent to me. Super clear. Again, great fucking communication. So once this coordinator of the actual marketplace, the Shopify shop, like once he got all the information put in, there was an email sent out for us to look it over and let him know if there were any mistakes or anything that you needed to update. That was something that I had to communicate with him to make sure that something was listed as not safe for work because it had boobies in it. And got back to me right away, made sure that things were updated and made sure it was listed correctly. No complaints, absolutely no complaints at all. And then came the sales report. So they give you again, I'm going to save the report and everything for next week. But this was also something I was not entirely sure of. But like, I just kind of want to show you. This was probably the most complicated part of the process. Because look at how long this email is, you guys. Part of the problem is that it is, at least for me, part of my problem was it was for international. Like, I am international to TCAF. Not that they're not the problem. I was the problem because I'm not in country. Okay. But this I had to read and reread and make sure that I did things according to instructions. I feel like they did a good job with this, but holy fuck, y'all, I was not prepared. If I had made a whole bunch of sales, this would have been really, really fucking difficult, y'all. So there's the getting paid, they break that down, the sales report, when you had to have your items shipped by, and when, you know, what the latest was. Once you have shipped them, you had to go to a specific website. This is like defunct, so don't try to click on this, any of you guys. So, you know, they tell you to pack your stuff with care. You need to include a packing list, and they will tell you everything you need to include with that. They also tell you to take a photograph of your boxes before you ship them. This is where the barcodes come into play. You had to make a barcode. So that SKU that they had you make earlier, they gave you a place to do a free generation of a barcode. I put that on my thing, printed it off on sticker paper and slapped it there. They also gave you instructions on, you know, how to pack your product. So this, you know, had like a hard cardboard to help keep everything. I put the barcode on both sides just because I had extra barcodes. Okay, and I'm crazy. So they give you explicit instructions. That's not the confusing part. They give you an example of, how to do your inventory list of what you sold. And I didn't put, I put the barcode there like I was supposed to. This part here, the shipping from the US. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's where you're sending it. That makes sense. You need to get a copy of the invoice in the form, or you need to upload. This was reasonable. They do charge you $5 CAD to help with gas and labor of the people who, there was a US drop point that I was to mail to, and the other US citizens were to mail to. And then there was an overall $5 charge, which if I'd sold a lot of product, totally reasonable. Not questioning that at all. $5 is nothing. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'll talk about this a little bit later and the resolution for my specific shop, but I didn't have any problem with that. $5 again is a drop in the bucket. I think that's perfectly fine. But yeah, this was what really threw me off, because you were supposed to upload like a tracking number and everything. And it had to include an invoice in the format described below. The problem that I had with all of this, the one instance of something not really functioning for me, this link did not work. Like, it forbade me from accessing anything. It said this access is denied or something like that. And I emailed them and let them know about that. I couldn't access this. I kept pointing at this. I meant to say I couldn't access this. And it was really frustrating. But anyway, it was immaterial because I ended up not having to use that. But this was the part that really was kind of confusing to me. And I don't know, maybe it was I was just thrown off. Anyway, this was probably the most complex part, and I would have gotten through with it. I'm going to have this blanked out so that nobody can see it, because I didn't want that to be shared. But the tariff codes was also confusing. Thankfully, I was just selling books. That's the only thing I'd sold. So I didn't have to worry about a tariff. They don't have a tariff, I guess, for that. Country of manufacture, again, that I was lucky because I choose to use local places. Sticker Ninja was locally sourced, apparently. It came from Portland. It was mailed from Portland. So I know where all my shit was made. It was made in the USA. But this could have been, they should have let us know that we needed that information. Because I did not know where Aradia, I keep saying Aradia, I think it can be pronounced either way, but I think it's Aradia. I don't know where Aradia B was printed, because I did not have it printed myself. It was printed through the collective. And I mean, it might be US printed. It probably was. I know the company that did it, I think it was Maxim or something like that. But regarding where it was printed, I don't know, because that was like one thing that I did not have printed myself. So it would have been nice to know that we were going to have to list the country of manufacture early. You know what I'm saying? I would have liked to have known that before having the shop. But yeah, you will need one invoice per country of manufacture? What the hell? This should have been mentioned earlier, because I think it's important that people know this ahead of time, so that they're thinking about that when they're getting their shit ready before the sales are made. You know? I have no problem with them asking for that. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. It's just, I feel like they should have told us sooner. But it was neither here nor there for me, because I try to make sure everything is US made that I sell in my shop. I mean, I have a Redbubble shop, which I'm going to do an in-depth discussion of Redbubble at some point, y'all. Seriously, I've bought things from Redbubble, but that's another story for another time. And holy fuck, I got some things to say about Redbubble. Declaring the price value, that's pretty self-explanatory. And the tracking, pretty self-explanatory. And then, if you have any other inquiries or tech issues, which I did, and I was able to get a hold of someone, and they got back to me pretty damn quick. One of my emails did go to spam, but because I had 2 emails, they did get one of them and was able to find my email that had gotten in spam. But yeah, very complex, very, very concisely and well written, but even though it was well written, it was still a bit confusing. And a little overwhelming. If I had sold more than one thing, which I'll talk about like the whole results and everything later. But if I'd sold more than one thing, holy fuck, this would have been scary, y'all. So maybe things are like a blessing in disguise. But anyway, I've got more to say. I'm gonna give like the results. I mean, I've already kind of given, you know, the cat's out of the bag. I only sold one thing. But I want to go into a little bit more discussion about that next week in part 2 of this video. And then I'm going to wrap up my review of the TCAF by answering, you know, what I did good, what I could have done better, what they did well, what they could have done better, etc., etc. So, next week will hopefully be a pretty damn short video for once. Okay, peace and love, fare you well, and keep on trucking.